Hi folks, how you doing? Russell TrueResults303.com. Check out the website, link in the description box. Mind, Body, Spirit, Fitness. Put in the healing back in health. Once again, don't forget to follow on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+. The podcast is out there, iTunes and SoundCloud. Those links are all down below for you. Click on it, subscribe, join the community. Let's take this journey together. Coming at you today with a video on why the small things matter. You know, it doesn't really matter. Well, it matters what our big goal is, like that legacy. Sometimes you've got to start at the end and work backwards. Kind of, I've mentioned it before where they talk about what do you want your tombstone to say, right? What do you want people to say at your funeral? We try to avoid death, but what do you want people to say? And I think we've got to understand we have to have that end goal, but then we've got to slowly work backwards, create that 5-year, 3-year, 1 year, 6-month, 3-month, 1 month daily goals, right? That's the main thing, the daily goals, the small things that matter. And I just read something interesting, and it said, once we understand the consequences of small things, you will soon understand that there is no such thing as something small. Kind of that same concept of you're only as strong as your weakest link, right? So even in a group, we are only as strong as our weakest person, because of course that person's going to slowly hold us back. So we've got to make sure that we're lifting those up around us as well. But this video is kind of weird because when I heard that, saying, I started thinking about the little things in my life that I don't do. And it's going to sound funny, but I think, like I said, it all starts with those little things, and then it can snowball from there. We've got to understand that those little things do matter. Setting the smallest, simplest goals can matter, right? It's like I've talked about with a fitness routine. People want to get in shape. January 1st is coming up, and the thing they think they need to do is, I need to get a gym membership. I need to buy all these supplements. I need to go 6 days a week. I need to do this and that. And they don't think of the small things like, why don't I just go for a walk? Why don't I just walk from my front door to my mailbox? Why can't I start there? Why don't I start my diet by just trying to eat a better breakfast? These little small things. And when I point out these next few things, these are things that I do and I see within the house here that I do, right? So what about this? When you do your laundry, do you actually fold your laundry, or do you just let it pile up? Right? That's a small thing that matters, especially for me, because then I'll be washing my church clothes, and then 4 days later when it's time for church, I'm trying to rush to get out the door, and then my shirt's crumpled up in a ball and all wrinkly. Right? And then I'm panicking even more, like, oh my goodness, I gotta try and iron this thing, throw it in the dryer for an extra 5 minutes. It's the small things that count, right? What about not hitting snooze? It's the same thing. You hit snooze, you hit snooze, you hit snooze. Next thing you know, you're late to work, you're panicking, your whole day is ruined. Your whole morning is ruined just because you have set yourself up for failure. That small little thing that we don't even think about, hitting snooze. What about one I'm guilty of? Do you untie your shoes when you take your shoes off? Right? I don't. I just go like this. Just click, click, right? Do you untie your shoes? When you take your pants off, if you're a guy, I guess girls too, do you actually take your belt out and hang it up? In the morning, do you actually make your bed? Before you go to bed, do you actually brush your teeth? These small things can add up to great things, right? And we don't understand that. Oh, it's just brushing your teeth. Yeah, my boss was just talking about they took his daughter to the dentist. She had I think it was 4 cavities. It was almost $2,000. So yeah, it seems like something so small, whatever. It's just brushing your teeth until 6 months later, it costs you $2,000 and money you do not have. Getting an oil change in your car when you are supposed to get an oil change. Your tires rotated when you're supposed to get your tires rotated. These are small little things. One of the guys at the tire store I go to, he was telling me that a guy, or it might have been my cousin actually, he got tires, and a guy came in his $100,000 Porsche or Corvette or whatever, and started yelling at the guys because they were telling him he needed new tires. And he was like, I just got those tires a year ago. These tires are supposed to last 2.5 years, 3 years. And he goes, yeah, sir, but in our system it shows you never got them rotated. So the inside is completely bald and we can't touch those tires. You need new ones, right? Those small little things. And if you have a car, you know how expensive tires are, right? I had to buy tires for my car recently. It was like $700, $800. Do you have that kind of cash lying around? If you don't, it's the small things that matter. What about in your relationships? I'm reading this book now called The Christian Husband. And it's very interesting. This guy was talking about how they started going to marriage. It wasn't marriage counseling, I don't think, but it was a marriage group discussion, Bible study type thing or whatever. And they asked, what was the most romantic thing that your husband has done for you lately? And he was like, oh man, you know, like I thought it was going to be that spontaneous vacation here, or that time I bought her that diamond bracelet, this and that. And it was, last week he did the dishes for me when he got home, right? It's the small things that matter. If you know your wife gets up every night at midnight because she's thirsty, how about before you go to bed, you just set a glass of water right there next to her, right? It's those small things that matter, right? Even as a parent, you know if your child's afraid of the dark, you get them a nightlight. It's those small things that matter. So right now, I just want to challenge you to look around. You know, the one thing I always heard, I used to watch or listen to Dr. Drew, what was it, Loveline? And people would be calling in with their issues, and it would be, you know, dating issues, or, you know, these were young parents, things of that nature. And he would hear their fire alarm tripping because the battery, their smoke detector, because the battery was out. And he'd be like, seriously, you're coming to me with all these problems and you can't even change the battery in your fire alarm, your smoke detector. You can't even change your, you know, if you can't even do that, how do you expect to save your relationship, to be a better father, to be a better parent, a better husband, better wife? Well, we can't even do those things, right? What about when you do the dishes? Do you just pile them in the sink? Or if the dishwasher's empty, just put them right in the dishwasher, right? You're killing two birds with one stone. So once again, I want you to contemplate right now, when this video's over, sit there and think about what small little things in your life are you struggling with? Because we've got to make sure that we are setting daily goals, hourly goals, morning goals, night goals, lunch goals. What are your goals? Because that big goal means nothing if we can't even complete the simplest task. So once again, I hope this is food for thought. I hope you can brainstorm some great things that are going to help you, help your spouse, help your children, help your family, help your friends. And once again, don't forget to follow on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+. The podcast is out there. Once again, those links are down below. Join the community. Let's do this together. We need help. I need help. Let's help each other. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, share and like these videos.